because it reminds me of like our relationship with God. Wherever you are, wherever you're walking through right now, there's a God in heaven who loves you very much. And what's interesting about that and what's difficult about that to comprehend is like this year has not been easy by any stretch of the imagination. We know things are difficult. Everybody's walking through tough stuff. We're all sitting in a room like 6 feet apart with masks on. And it's like, I don't know, kind of a weird feeling, right? It's a little bit of a strange experience, no doubt. But what we are when we are together is we're part of a family that's bigger than ourselves, right? We talked about this a few weeks ago on Sunday, and I wanted to revisit it a little bit tonight. It's like when you guys show up here, you have to know how important you are. Like you have to know how much you matter just by being here. Your presence is a gift to the people that are in this room. And I don't say that to be like, oh man, you're so awesome. People are lucky to be your friend. I don't mean like that there. But what I mean is like you guys being here matters. Because when you're nice to somebody who's having a rough day, it reminds them that there are people that love them, right? When Laura Lynn says hi to me when she walks up, it makes me feel nice. It makes me feel excited that people are happy to come to church. When you guys show up and you're willing to put masks on, even though none of us like masks, none of us enjoy them. I hate them a lot. But right, when we're willing to work and walk in those situations and do that, it's because you guys are saying that being together is more important than whatever inconvenience that a mask might pose in the way that we hang out. And so mainly the thing that I wanted to come up here tonight and say was thank you. Thank you so much for being a dedicated person who has been a part of this relaunch as we have been building this youth group again. Thank you for being welcoming. Thank you for being loving. Thank you for being kind. Thank you for being considerate, for caring about people that are not you, right? For being willing to come and hang out with us. Because when you show up here, it makes a huge difference to this community. You are incredibly important, and you have unique things to contribute to this youth group that nobody else can contribute. And so when you're gone, we feel it, right? Alex, you were gone last week. Everybody noticed. There.
They did?
Yeah, people noticed. There. I had three, I'm not kidding. I'm not making that up. I had 3 different people come up and ask me, hey, where's Alex tonight? There. And that matters, right? And it's like, you don't even think you're doing anything by being here, right? Like, you don't think you're important. You don't think you're like, blah, blah, blah. What's that?
He does think he's important.
There. No, he said, no, they didn't. There. And so it's like, you may not think like you matter that much, but your presence, all of you guys, you matter. There. Zach, when you just got back from Sacramento or Oregon? There, right? There. So it was like, first week you were gone, I asked me, I was like, hey, where is that guy? And is he coming back? Like, the idea here that when you are gone, your absence is felt. And so I want to just say, thank you. Thank you for visiting us. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for coming for 2 weeks, for 1 week, for the last 6 weeks that we've been doing this, because it matters. It matters deeply to myself. It matters deeply to the leaders here. But ultimately, what's important to remember is that when you're here, it's understanding and knowing that you matter to God. That as a youth group, as a church, as CSM, like we serve and we do our best to connect with serving a God that's bigger than ourselves. And so that's the other thing I wanted to mention tonight. I don't know where you stand. I don't know what you're walking through. I don't know what you're going through. But I hope you know that there is a God in heaven who loves you more than anything on this earth. That there is a God who will never leave you, who will never make you walk through things alone, that you won't have to suffer alone, that you won't have to go through things in this life by yourself. Because most often, God works through people. And that's why it matters when you're here. It's because God wants to use you to bless somebody else's life. And God wants to use other people to bless your life. So when you show up, when you're kind to people, when you contribute to small group discussions, when you're willing to jump in and like by commenting about things, like even as something as little as like sharing an invitation to your own CSM or from CSM, like to your own page and inviting people to come to church with you, all of those things matter. Because what you guys are doing is you guys are creating opportunity for other students to have community. And we know statistically through all of the evidence that we're seeing in social science data right now that your guys' generation is most negatively affected and impacted by COVID, right? You guys specifically. There, you guys are walking through it in a way that's harder than anything any other age group is dealing with. And so when you guys invite people, when you guys show up, when you guys say nice things, when you guys build community, what you are doing is you are taking active steps to fight against that. You're taking active steps to fight against making people feel alone. You guys are definitively saying, like, you're standing up and saying, I want to be a part of the solution to help make the lives of my friends and people around me better. And so the leaders here, we don't pretend to know what it's like to have to be told you're going to go back to school on Monday and then have it be pushed out to December 17th. Like, that's an incredibly frustrating experience for a lot of you. There are some of you who are like, that's the best thing I've ever heard. And so wherever you are on that, right, like, that's your own thing. But the other reality is that, like, our youth group, we know people who are your age who have taken their own lives since COVID started. And that's like what we're talking about here. Like, that's the level of seriousness that we have and that we're working through. And so when you guys, again, when you show up, you're making an environment where people don't have to choose that option, where people don't have to feel like that's the only answer that they have. So again, I really just want to communicate deeply for our first week inside as we move back. Thank you. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for hanging with us. Thank you for helping us get better. Thank you for giving us ideas for games that we can play so it's more enjoyable. Thank you for telling me what food to buy, what food not to buy. I didn't know that you guys didn't like pizza every week. I never would have guessed because I just eat pizza every week myself. So for you guys to say that, right, like, it helps us go get other food. So that matters. So every time you guys make a contribution to this place, every time you help it get better, you are taking an active step in saying, I want to be part of the solution for people in my community. So I just, on behalf of all the leaders here, we want to say thank you, and we want to say that we love you, and that we're going to continue getting better. We're going to continue growing, not just numerically, but also in depth and in relationship with community, with each other. And ultimately, thank you for what you are saying yes to when you say yes to the CSM, when you say yes to the crossing, when you say yes to serving.